So before we start the video, I'd like to ask you guys to please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video, as it helps the channel grow. So, let's get into it. It's disgraceful. Utterly disgraceful that a guy that was fighting an uphill battle before the fight even started got robbed. If you didn't watch the fight or you missed it somehow, Josh Taylor versus Jack Catterall just ended. And let's just say Josh Taylor shouldn't have won that fight. Let's just say Jack Catterall got robbed. He got robbed completely. So in this video, it's going to be a really quick video. But in this video, I'm going to recap what I saw during the fight and why I think this is pretty disgraceful for boxing. So without further ado, let's get into it. What's up guys, JT here, back at it with another video. I'm doing a double upload today, but I usually don't do this, especially fight recaps with videos. But you know what? This fight might be a little controversial, so let's get right into it. First of all, first 6 rounds, it was the same story over and over again. Josh Taylor was walking forward, missing basically everything, and Jack Catterall was boxing perfectly. Despite being the smaller man and not having the same amount of power, which is, you know, like a Josh Taylor, Jack Catterall outboxed Josh Taylor completely. Even made his eyes swell with consistent left hands over the top and with his perfect timing. So let's fast forward a little bit. Josh Taylor is down like 6 rounds to 1 on most people's scorecards and on my own. If you gave him that second or first round, okay, but really he should have been down at least 6 rounds to 1. Boom. Red flag right there. There's a red flag that Andre has him up by a round. So that's a red flag right there. Jack Catterall, around the 8th round, knocks Josh Taylor down with a pristine left hand. Perfect timing on the temple. Boom, knockdown. That makes it a 10-8 round. Josh Taylor is losing the fight in my opinion. I tweeted it out. Things were not going well for Josh at all. And Josh would have to take an uphill battle to try to win this fight. But apparently, referee Mark McDonald had other plans. After that knockdown round, which I had, Jack up considerably, I look at Andre's scorecard, the unofficial, and more or less, Jack Catterall and Josh Taylor are now tied. So, red flag number 2. And then, the most concerning thing is that referee Mark McDonald, after the knockdown round, took a point away from Jack Catterall. Like literally, he took a point away for nothing. He said, referee thought he pushed Josh Taylor down. I didn't see it. I just thought Josh Taylor, he ducked down one. Josh Taylor ducked down, and I guess it was just reactionary by Jack Catterall. And it should have just warranted a warning, but instead, referee Mark McDonald took a point away, which was disgraceful on its own. And he was referee Mark McDonald was horrible in this fight. So now I'm starting to think, and I'm still looking at, I'm thinking about the unofficial, and I'm like, oh shoot, Jack is down. Now that they took that point away, Jack is down on the scorecards. He has to be. So I'm thinking to myself, he getting ready to get robbed. And so now Jack starts to get tired around the 9th, 10th round. Maybe Josh wins some of those rounds, maybe not, because Catterall was still hitting him with that left hand. So around the 11th round, and Andre still has it close. It's still close, like a 1-point back and forth battle. He still has it close. And around, the 10th, 11th round, Josh Taylor, while they're walking back to the corners, again, referee Mark McDonald takes a point away. Boom. Red flag number 3. That means That's you know what that said in my mind. That told me immediately that either one or two things was gonna happen. Either Josh Taylor is gonna slip away with a split decision win, or he's going to walk away with a draw and not lose his belts. So fast forward a little bit, nothing really happens in the last few rounds. I think Catterall should have won that 12th round, but it was kind of uneventful. I think Catterall did land like a combo in that 12th round, which he should have won, but other than that, nothing really, eye-popping. So it's the end of the fight. I'm absolutely hysterical because referee Mark McDonald was absolutely horrible, and he deducted 2 points away for what really should have been warnings. Keep in mind that Josh Taylor's deduction was even worse. Even though he was losing the fight, it was even worse because he just tapped Jack Catterall on the shoulder. So we go to the scorecards, and they're taking the judges took like 5 minutes. It took 5 minutes to get the scorecards out. Something that, like, literally, I'm kind of embellishing. Maybe not 5 minutes. Maybe like 2, maybe 3 minutes. But still, that's still too long. So I'm thinking to myself, why is it taking so long for these scorecards to come out? I'm thinking Jack Catterall might have won this fight by at least split decision. And if you're not going to give him a split decision, at least give him a draw or something. So, turn comes to the scorecards reveal that, and it goes as follows. The judges scored about 113-112 Josh Taylor, 113-112 Jack Catterall, and the very last scorecard reads 114-111 Josh Taylor. I don't know which judge saw that fight 111-114 Josh Taylor, but he might need to get his eyes checked because that was ridiculous. Final thoughts are Jack Catterall got robbed in it will probably be the biggest robbery of 2022 in a fight he should have won. He outclassed the champion in Scotland. So I think Jack Catterall should have won this fight at least by split decision. But even still, that's disgraceful to the sport of boxing. The fact that judges and referees have so much impact on the fight, at one wrong decision could cost one fighter the fight. And quick footnote, Andre Ward's scorecard was absolutely horrible. He did everything in his power to try to convince you that Josh Taylor was winning this fight by a very slim margin, when in reality he was like down 4 rounds. But I don't know, I didn't like this fight, the way this fight ended. I'm pretty sure other people will agree with me. So leave your comment in the comment section. Do you think Jack Catterall got robbed, or do you think Josh Taylor honestly won that fight? I stand up by what I said. I thought Josh Taylor was going to have an easy time in this fight, but obviously not. So I admit I was wrong about that one. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please consider subscribing to the channel, hitting the notification bell, hitting that like button, as it helps the channel grow immensely. Follow me on social media, and I'm out. Peace.